Hello and welcome to what is the round 18 review for SuperCoach 2022, and we didn't have the best week, did we? 2,393. I would have loved to hit 2-4. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. We started like a house on fire. We did all the right things, and unfortunately, I was sort of put in my place. I picked the wrong pod. Picking Jelly over Merritt was probably the most crucial mistake I've made this year. Out of everyone that you could pick, whether it was Welsh, Merritt, or who else was in the mix. I know Parrish was there as well, but he went down. It was a bit unfortunate there. But yeah, got that one wrong. At the moment, I really do hope that a concussion isn't too bad and hopefully does get up this week. I'm pretty sure the Giants play Sunday, but I really don't think he will. So, yeah, a massive blow. And going to the footy yesterday, watching the Bombers get up in a huge win against the Suns, that was great to see. But what wasn't great to see was Zach Merritt basically doing whatever he wanted, playing a quarterback role in the midfield, getting a lot of handball receives, a lot of score assists, goal assists, you name it. He just did everything, and watching him do that was unbearable. As a non-owner, it just sucks. As much as you love seeing your team play good footy, that did hurt on the occasion, and yeah, I'm a little bit flat, but yeah, we'll get into it anyway. So where are we? We are in the top 1% overall still, which is great. 7 out of 10 league wins. It's stock standard for a score like that. Obviously, I'd like to be doing a lot better. If it wasn't for Jelly, I would have had a superb week, but not to be. And only a plummet of 104, which isn't too bad. I was expecting a lot more than that, if I'm being brutally honest, because, yeah, 2-3 at this point of the year, to me, is an absolute stinker. But look, we'll get into it, and obviously we'll assess the team coming into what is round 19 already. So I don't know if anyone tuned into my final trade plans for 2022. I uploaded a video on Friday. Didn't get many views as expected, being this late in the season, and this late when I uploaded it, but made a couple of big decisions, couple of sneaky moves. So Burgoyne came into my team, and a lot of you might be thinking, Spills, why would you trade in Burgoyne instead of a Carmichael or I can't remember this has rattled me. Noel bloke from Richmond, who hit a ton, by the way, so that would have been another great option. So what I was going to do is, if Parnell scored less than 50, I would have gone Noah into my team. Was it Chamberlain? Noah Chamberlain? I could be wrong there. I'm pretty sure that's the bloke's name. Let's sort this out. But this guy did really well. So he was going to be my fullback. Cumberland, that's the one. Gee, I had a bit of a brain fade there. He went off. So this would have been a really good pick. Because he was my fullback. So yeah, Parnell was shit. This would have been the guy that would come into my team. So a 101, that is unreal. Against North, that's a pretty cheap shot. Would have been a real nice rookie pod, but I thought, the DPP is way more important. So now I have cover over all lines. So with Jelly going down, we'll discuss him now. So that allows me to flip Burgoyne into the midfield. So we'll do that. And now I can cover his bullshit score. So that's a pain in the ass. What are we doing, actually? I should be a bit more prepared so Oliver can come back on. Okay, so I'll go Sinclair. Just D1. So now I can cover Jelly's 0, which that's going to hurt because he's a real pod. Only 10% of teams, I'm pretty sure. That really does suck. A 62 as well. I thought he was scoring pretty bad. I didn't see any of the game because I was playing footy myself, unfortunately. But I did check the scores after I played, and he started okay by the looks of it. But then, yeah, copped a knock. I'm not sure exactly how extreme it was, but yeah, that really hurts you. It hurts you so much. Considering, like, I pretty much did everything right, I would have thought. So, like, defence was good. Dawson, that's okay. Sicily was unreal. Hewitt, he really backed it up, started pretty slow and nearly hit the ton, so we take that. And Jane Short, 100 against North Melbourne is a real problem. And Jack Crisp, I'm a little bit worried, but not as worried as I am with Short, just because the role with Crisp is still pretty good. And yeah, Burgoyne, that DPP is super important. I got him in as a player that might play down the line. Hopefully he can be a bit of cover, but more so he's a real swing man. So if there's any carnage in defence or in the forward, in the midfield, I can cover it. So that was the real sort of logistics for that, because I have no cover in the midfield. Obviously, Rioli taking some leave away from football, that really hurts me on the bench. So I do need a cover, and that's exactly what I've done. So I thought this was a good move. I thought it was smart, but yeah, Parnell went really shit. Cumberland would have made his way into my team, and gee, that would have been a handy score. I really needed that, but nonetheless, it is what it is. So hopefully we get D'Ambrosio back too. I don't think the Corky was that bad, and I definitely feel like he's best 22. The Bombers aren't going to make the 8. They're playing great footy. They've got nothing to lose. So yeah, if I was on the board at Essendon, which I'm definitely not, I would play D'Ambrosio 100%. I think he's a great talent. Get some games into him, and then coming into 2023, he could probably really break out and explode. So that would be a really ideal thing for the Bombers, and more so for my SuperCoach team, because I do need those good coverage scores. He's shown real good glimpses, has hit 80 plus before, so we know what he can do when he's in good form and hit targets. So yeah, hopefully he can cover in defence this week. I will loophole him with Parnell. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Onto the midfield, so Oliver comes back this week, and hopefully we can make a real increase in the ranks because of the people that did trade him out, and hopefully that they can be, well, hopefully Oliver can make him pay for doing that, because I held the faith and kept him for a week. So yeah, I really expecting big things from him now. And the VC on Laird, bloody hell, this was the highlight of my week. Unfortunately, I didn't realise that Jelly was concussed and was going to end up with a 60-odd score, because I didn't really see any of that game. But then I was watching this game in the second half when I got home from footy, and 20 tackles. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the record tackles in a game. Unbelievable. That is seriously good. He's a pod that's been unreal for me this season, and yeah, been a pleasure to watch and a pleasure to VC. So yeah, I'll definitely be using him as a VC option for weeks to come. So yeah, super happy with Lairdy. What a pick. One of my favourite players, it has to be said. Tuke Miller was good. Obviously, being at the football, you do see a little bit. And, Tuke, I don't know, those hat kicks out of the pack, what are those all about? It's kind of luck. I mean, if those kicks are hitting targets, because it's a fluke, it's either going to get marked by a Bombers player or a Gold Coast player. He's scoring 150, but if you get a lot of clangers, obviously he's going to score 110. So, yeah, it's a funny old pick, Tuke, but nonetheless, he's definitely a top 8 midfielder, if not top 6, because he has been pretty good, and we've seen glimpses from him. Don't know if he was quite as good as he was last year, but been a solid selection nonetheless. 118 average, which is great. Lockyer was good. A funny one to VC. Would you take that? I would have taken that, if I'm honest, especially this week, because my fallback captaincy option, you can't see it because I did use the VC, but if Laird went shit, I would have fallen back on Brayshaw. I was expecting him to go really big against the Swans, who don't really tag midfielders, so that would have been a really nice move, but then obviously, in theory, you think it would work. It didn't, and yeah, luckily, Laird was a very, very nice scorer. Sinclair doing whatever he wants. He loves playing teams that just attack. He rebounds, and the Dogs, their forward entries haven't really been that great. So yeah, it takes a lot of intercept marks, rebound 50s, the whole lot. He's the ideal defender, and definitely probably D1 for 2023. So yeah, been one of the picks of the year by far, and definitely an All-Australian halfback. Jackson McRae hit his peak again, playing some good footy. He's been consistent, but just hasn't really had the highest ceiling that he's had in previous years. But yeah, he obviously showed it on that occasion. What is going on here? That's a stitch up. Getting a call. What is going on? Oh, it's me bloody dad. Dad, not now. I'm in a SuperCoach video. Read the room, mate. Read the room. I'll call you back. So where were we? Brayshaw. Brayshaw. So this, he was all right. Didn't get tagged. I didn't see any of this game, if I'm being honest. But I think he's definitely top 8 midfielder. Bit rattled because my dad called me. I just lost a complete track of what I was talking about. But it's too late in the season to care and edit that out. So you'll enjoy that. So this was the big move. So Jack Steele made his way into my team for Patrick Cripps, which was definitely the right call. I saw enough from Cripper. I went, you know what? He's playing ruck. He's got a 5-round average in the 90s. It's just not good enough, especially in the midfield. So, Jack Steele finally sort of found some form. Wasn't really exploding, but getting 110 to 115 every week and really, really did well. Hit the 10 tackle mark as predicted, was very, very important. So, great move there. I nailed that one and I nailed the VC and I still had a shit week. So that just goes to show how vital the impact of Jelly's score is on your team. I mean, M8, a 62 at M8 it's just not good enough. It's such a bad score. You can't cop that. And I'm very flat about it. But hopefully it's just a week and hopefully you can come back and repay me back some decent scores. Far out. What an absolute horror show selection he has been. And I got baited just about as good as you could have asked for. And when I traded him in, he had a 3-round average of 137. So it's no surprise that you think, you know what, the ceiling is there. The durability isn't, but the ceiling is definitely there. But now both aren't there. He's never been durable, but now the ceiling's sort of gone as well. I don't know what I'm expecting from Jolly anymore. If he went 110, I'd be happy with that. But when you got blokes like Petrarca and Merritt going 130 plus, it really does hurt you at M8. So that's probably going to be the difference in me making the top 1,000. As much as I'd love a 3-digit rank, I just don't think it's going to happen this year with that. So that brings me on to another topic. I'm rambling on a little bit here, but with the one trade and the 109k I got in the bank, would you go short to Stewart when he returns? That's the big move. Or if Jelly's served me up this nonsense and getting injured and stuff like that, would you go Jelly up to a Merritt or a Mills? Like, what would you do? Let me know in the comments there, because I'm very one-sided. Like, at least with Short, like it'd probably be the right move going short to Stewart, but at least the ownership with Short is high. I think 39-40% of teams have him. So if he scores bad, it's not going to hurt you a whole lot. But when Jelly, I mean, that's the second score in the 60s he has given me, and he's a pod. So that's what's going to bring you undone. So I do have my concerns. Got a couple of weeks to think about it, but he's in my bad books at the moment. So really, really quite shattering. But anyway, we'll move on, and hopefully it gets a little bit more cheerful. Not so much in the rucks. Darcy didn't struggle, but didn't really have the best game. Would have been my captaincy option if Hickey wasn't playing, but it's all good. You take that. And Witts, you think he'd do better, but how good is Sam Draper? How good is that goal he kicked? Oh my God. A crowd just went off at the time. It was unbelievable. Rule out the bias here, but is that goal of the year? It would have to be close. I mean, a ruckman, he hits it to a midfielder, gets a handball receive, follows up his kick. Don't argue. I can't remember what he did in the passage of play. Outside the boot, for a bloke that big to be doing that is just unreal. So I thought he beat Witts, which was a real surprise. But dropped off a little bit of form as Jared Witts, but nonetheless, he's been a really good pick overall this season. So can't rag on him too much there. But I do think Draper matched him, if not beat him, quite well. So that was good. Bonampally on a Friday night just did what Bonampally does and exploded. He is so damaging. It's not how many he gets, it's what he does with it. And when he's kicking at 55 metres and then Norton's clunking him and kicking a goal, I mean, that's like 10 points right there. for metres gained, high disposal efficiency, high impact, and a goal assist. So, yeah, for Bonampelli to do that is unreal. It was good to see him actually get some form. He's been good, but he hasn't been great. So hopefully he can really pick up his game and almost, dare I say it, be a viable VC option for weeks to come. So yeah, it was really nice to have him. Only 30% of teams, I think. So a real, not pod, but yeah, definitely going to hurt a few guys or people without actually owning him. So that does hurt you. Cogs was good, and English, wow, yeah, this one hurt. Didn't see a lot of footy on the weekend, and I didn't see this game, but from what I heard, played a little bit forward, and yeah, just hasn't really been that good since returning. But there's not much we can do about it now. I'm stuck with him. Hopefully he can deliver some nice scores, but yeah, hasn't been fulfilling. It's got to be said. And Will Brodie, he's struggled a little bit too. The forward line is struggling, but I won't be the only one going down there. Dunkley's struggling, which is interesting, but then again, highly owned, so it's just whatever. And Judson Clark was my loophole for Luke Parker, 92, which is fine. So yeah, that's the team, and no trades for this week, obviously. It's the one left. I think we're in a good position. It's just a matter of who goes out of Jelly and Short. I haven't decided yet. I'm really struggling with M8. Every year it always hurts me. Like even Zach Merritt's been a real stinker at M8, like given a lot of 90s, but this form of his has just come out of nowhere. 3-round average of 140 or something like that. Just crazy stuff. So yeah, if you picked Merritt around that time after his bye as a sort of stepping stone at a cheap price, what was he, about 490k, low 500s? You'd be absolutely wrapped with that. And yeah, well done to whoever did that. Unfortunately, it wasn't me, but it's not the end of the world. Hopefully just 1 week for Jelly, and then he can come back and pay me back and give me a little bit of credit for picking him, because I really like him as a pod, has always had a high ceiling, and you get sucked in. You really do. I mean, let's have a look at what he's done this year. So I know exactly when I trade him in. So where is his season stats? So I reckon I got him in just before the North game. Yeah. So it was after his bye. So yeah, got him after round 12. So had the C on him against North, which hurt, and then a 65 against the Dogs. What's going on here? I don't want it to do that. They need to fix the scrolling system of SuperCoach. It's bloody ridiculous. Okay, so that's better. So 111, that's good. A 65 against the Dogs, that hurt. And I had a good week then too. I think I scored 2,450, and that happened. That really let me down. Consistent, solid. You know, been okay. Hasn't been spectacular, but has been a decent pick. But then the concussion, the 1 week, in a player that is only in 12% of teams, that hurts. And I don't think many in the top 5% and above would own him. I feel like it'd be a very low portion, but let's just hope the extremities of the concussion aren't that catastrophic and he makes a very positive return and can find some form, because, yeah, it's killing me. But trading in Burgoyne was definitely the right call, because now I can cover that. I would have had to have fielded Cumberland, which was a bit of a fluke game. I wouldn't expect that again. I feel like D'Ambrosio is still a good option. I get a loophole going on where I'd have to field Cumberland straight up, which is a bit dicey. So, that was the logistics for that. I was speaking to DR about it just before lockout, and he thought, I reckon going Burgoyne would definitely be a smarter idea for coverage. So I've done exactly that, and I think it's fine. But yeah, absolutely wrapped with the team and wrapped with the rank. But yeah, Jelly over Merritt, it's killing me. And being a Bombers supporter, there's that sentimental value of the pick as well. And it's very fun owning the Bombers boys when they're going well. Like, for example, when Ridley was flying at the start of last year, I was the happiest man ever. He became my favourite player. He still is my favourite player, but he's not really SuperCoach relevant. Where Zach Merritt, he's just going off and gee, I'd love to own him. So it's a bit disappointing, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. Hopefully your team's going well, and hopefully did better than me this week. It's not very hard, if I'm being honest. If you're scoring anywhere in the 2,300 mark, you got something wrong. So yeah, I definitely have problems at M8, but yeah, we'll try to assess them next couple of weeks. But for now, I'll leave it there. Take care, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.